As a documentary filmmaker, convenience is absolutely key for me. Most of my work consists of short documentaries, usually run and gun, with maybe one or two maximum crew members with me. So because of that, my setup, I want to always keep my setup as small as possible, and I want to be able to not focus as much on the gear as opposed to the story, which is what is important. And because of that, I want to talk about an item that, based on the title of the video, you probably know what I'm talking about, and that is the Tentacle Track E-System audio recorder from Tentacle. So this basically is an audio recorder that you attach a lav mic, which it already comes equipped with, and basically you could consider this as to be almost 90% of what you would need for a documentary audio setup, as far as I'm concerned, and for short documentaries. Now, before that, I would rely on the shotgun mic on my camera, and I've used the Panasonic GH5, so I have an XLR module, so that would give me two XLR inputs, which is good, but not great, not as your main source of audio. I found that relying on XLR audio is not always the best thing to do. And so this is where this really comes in. Now, you might be familiar with a lot of options on the market that are wireless mics, where you have to plug the transmitter into the camera, and then you have the actual mic. But if you go a certain distance, then you lose connection, and you're always relying on the physical distance between the camera and your subject, and that's not really ideal, and you can run into a lot of different issues. Whereas this you can just put in your subject, start recording, and not worry about it. This lasts forever, and it records onto a micro SD card. And what I really like about it, apart from the audio quality, which I'm going to talk about, is just how convenient it is to set up. When I was working on a documentary with only two other crew members, maybe a month ago, and this was the only audio I used for my subject the entire time, and the audio turned out great, and I was pretty much rolling the entire day on that, and not worrying about this. I just connected it to my phone, super easy to use, very straightforward. The only issue with the American modules is that you're not able to monitor the audio when you're recording on your phone. So you can monitor before that, but when you're recording, you're not able to. Honestly, that's not an issue for me, because when I'm recording, I'm most likely on my camera just focusing on the visuals and the actual story. But that might be an issue for you if you're in the United States. And apart from that, spectacular audio quality, records 32-bit float audio, which, if you're not familiar with this term, it's pretty much raw, but for audio. So you're not going to peak. And if you're not an expert, if you don't know what you're doing a lot with your audio like me, then this can save you big time. So as previously mentioned, this doesn't have to be connected to the camera. So you could be in another car, which is something I was doing. If I didn't record, but if I wanted to record, and if my subject is in another car and whatnot, I don't want to stop recording and I want to start, I could just keep rolling, and that would have very good audio. Now, why you would use this is because specifically this has timecode, and along with one of these that you can connect to your camera, these are the Sync E. You're able to sync both of these, the audio from this and the audio from your camera, with just one click in post. And this is absolutely amazing. This connects very easily to most mirrorless cameras via your 3.5mm input, and you're then able to sync them via the app. And after that, in post, you can sync them in DaVinci, or you can even use Tentacle's own software. This is absolutely amazing. That way, even as a one-man setup, I can have very good shotgun mic audio, as well as my main audio right now, which is this, that I can use for interviews, for if I'm doing cinema verite, which is something I'm trying to do more of. Really just relying on this, because I know that this won't fail me. the battery lasts forever, and no matter how far I go, if I'm rolling, I'm still going to be rolling. And honestly, this is great. This kind of gear and this kind of equipment are what like excite me to go work on a film, because I'm not worrying about them. Gear should only be a tool. It should not be a barrier, and should not be something that you're really thinking about when you're working on a certain story. And so, really, thank you for Tentacle for sending these over. I'm absolutely in love with them. As my productions continue on growing, I'm very happy with my short form run and gun documentaries. But as I start working on bigger projects, I'm 100% certain that I'm going to own a bunch of these, because they're just so good, and I don't see a way where they're going to become outdated anytime soon. And that's great with audio gear, honestly. So I highly recommend any documentary filmmaker to do this investment, to invest in gear that really helps you achieve your story, not in fancy gear necessarily. Gear in, like, this is something that I really need as a documentary filmmaker. It's not something fancy. It's not the lens that I really want. It's not a gimbal that I could use to get 2 shots in my film. This is really something essential and crucial, and will really help me step up my game, and it's already doing so. So I'm going to try and keep this trend going. Any gear that I really think is beneficial to me as a documentary filmmaker, I'm going to share on this channel, and hopefully give you just some advice on what's working for me and what hopefully could work for you. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you could subscribe and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one.